lò cho lò chế sẽ trả tô.
Ok, lúc xưa nó bây giờ tại nhà mình sẽ lúc reptile có rồi. Nhớ hồ Rapid City.
Mount Rushmore là gì hả?
Mount Rushmore thật cho nó South Dakota. So bây giờ sẽ hay rồi chả nó là nó ở bên nhau rồi nó. Bây giờ họ chồng mà nó nó thì tất cả nó sẽ bên nó chạy ta thì bây họ dùng cho mình nhiều mà say giờ lúc là tiền thôi nè lúc nó nè we go in here and say thì chiều nó ta thì bây giờ mình say lúc rồi mà đầy giá chế một say chia nó nè là thì mua nó chỉ tao chẳng pha cho họ trả đầy rồi thì đây mới dùng mua hết rồi so mình chỉ chọn say chơi hết ta chỉ bây một say rồi chả
I mean, I can play online, but
mà bây giờ bỏ khí sẽ sống này chung nó mà bây tôi chơi chung hàng này
Sẽ bung câu chụp cái lon.
còn nó khỏi kinh nó đã chỉ bây tôi ở đây chơi à tôi mà chơi chung
because it's really OP.
cái mùa xe chở
Yeah, I'll take you. The rattlesnake?
ok bên cả cái lò lờ
Please,
chỉ lần kia biết thì chỗ đó là vì chỗ đó là
charge a lot of people, honey. They charge $17.50 each person.
ô ít tôi cổ xa đấy đó cổ xa chỉ cho sang đấy that's a lot bạn muốn đâu giờ hả
Cụ thể bé chỉ lần tan thôi, chỗ ý là
chỗ ý đó là hey let me get a picture of that honey let me get a picture of that sticker thing you see I mean I want to get it Bà nó có hình thế đó. Really, really beautiful place here. No wonder kỳ hả. Nó có clear. Nó có chai ạ. So beautiful. Cái nó có rất tệ. Thế trong lúc chờ này.
Down there. Over 30, 24. Nên ngồi tu đó.
Để cho nhóc về mà, để ba về inside. Lots of crocodile. Alligator? Was that a crocodile or alligator? He looks like hungry.
Yeah, look at all this.
Tired, sleepy.
Sunny. There's a big
Oh,
There's a very big one right there.
this one?
one.
The biggest one? Is it the middle?
There.
Are you happy? Yeah. You are so
I think
lucky.
these are wild ones.
You are so lucky you get to see all these. Okay, mà chúng được. Tụi lo tụi mày bật lửa. Nhưng mà bây giờ là số bên mà vào với tôi làm rõ hết. What's next? Rồi chị thế? Một case là? Ná này, cái sao ná tả?
Chúng nó nó.
Huh? No snake? I want to see snake.
How come there isn't that much people? Too early or?
It's really early.
Oh, really?
Yesterday there were lots of people. That's the end of no. There's nothing over here. They didn't. That tire show. They didn't do yet. Look at the schedule.
o'clock, 10:30.
Oh, let's go this way.
10:30. Okay, cho bé mình chịu nữa là.
Let's go this way then.
Turtle over
Yeah.
now.
Let's go look at all the
We're
stuff.
gonna look at all
They
this
got
stuff.
turtle over here. They got python over there. They got
We are
snakes.
too
Oh,
early,
that guy
that's
over there, he's feeding the animal.
Yeah, let's go look at.
Go this way.
Baby, go.
My hands
What
are
kind of
glued.
plant is that?
My hands are glued to you.
Blue, you gotta make them hot.
This is like they doing like a gold mine, honey. You go and then you let the water run through and then you can see the gold.
Why did they do that later? It's wet.
They let the water run through
And
here.
let people touch
And
it.
then, yeah, and then you shake it, see you got gold nugget. Yeah.
Find any rock loose, huh?
No, they got some.
Those
rock.
are the rocks that you need to find.
Oh yeah, it's rock.
Like this diamond rock. Whatever it's called. Oh, they. Oh, you are wanted. Oh, the marrow.
Ma, look at you. Look at Mickey Mouse.
No, they got like. Whoa, the tippy toe.
How come I look the same?
There you go. Move back.
That.
No, move. Put your hand up. Make sense? Now go on your tiptoes. On your tiptoes. You see your head?
Looks like I'm gonna fall.
Yeah.
Lena. Nít tôi một xe ở cái này cả đất to này, đây là to. Hey, money in $1.
I have $1.
Lena, you have dollars? Lena had lots of dollars. Lena had lots of
Oh, I
dollars.
got lots of dollars.
Like 3 people. Go shoot it as we quit.
You shoot it.
You. Yeah.
People?
Yeah, there's lots of guns. Sure.
You are okay? Okay. I'm okay. You okay?
Are they doing a snake show right now?
Look at that. I think it
Oh, okay. Almost, right?
You can play too? Oh, there's a bird.
You try anything?
Look at that.
Hey, shoot it. Let's shoot it.
Play.
Put $1 more. Shoot a skeleton. Ah, done. You got it? Good. Awesome. Awesome.
One shot.
Snake show is at 9 o'clock.
That's
Yep. Yeah, snake show in there. Going to look at the snake show. Lots of flowers. Let it.
That looks good. Đó. Oh, yeah.
Người ta phải tỏ tà là cái snake show nào. Bây giờ trông sẽ tao chơi thôi. Cái gì này nhá. Thế nào? cutie puppy get to come too. Lucky girl. Okay, they're going to take on that. The snake thing. Hey. Later you go take a picture of the giant anaconda.
I'm okay.
Why not? You're so scared. We're going to the snake show, okay?
I'm back, so I'll be just 1 second. Alright, so before I get started, I just want to point out a few of the other attractions we do have here at the garden. To my left over here is our prairie dog town. Just beyond that pink building is our giant tortoise yard where you guys can sure go up and pet those big guys. Just beyond that is the bald eagle display. And make sure to visit all 3 sections of the Sky Dome. Interestingly, in 2014, Guinness Book of World Records named the Reptile Gardens the largest reptile collection in the world. So that's kind of a fun fact about us, what we kind of do here. And with that, I'm going to get started. Reptiles, they're similar to humans in that they are vertebrate creatures. That is, they have a spine or a backbone like we do. And they also have lungs and so breathe air as we do. But unlike us, they're cold-blooded. So their body temperature is the same as their surroundings. There are 5 types of living or present-day reptiles. And the snakes and the lizards are the most familiar groups. The 3rd type is the crocodilians. This is the group that the alligators and the crocodiles belong to. Turtles and tortoises make up that 4th group, and the 5th is the lizard-like tuatara. And the tuatara is a very rare animal that can only be found on some tiny islands in New Zealand. The tuatara, the turtles, and the tortoises, and the crocodilians are all ancient animals, and those more modern-day reptiles are those snakes and lizards. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the snakes. So before I get my first guy out, how many of you guys actually like snakes? Okay, I like it. So probably the more important question though, how many of you don't like snakes or are absolutely terrified? You guys can be my volunteers for today.
Oh, do you want to?
So, this first guy I have for you, he is a harmless variety, native to Central and South America, known commonly as the yellow-tailed crebo. And to those unfamiliar with snakes, a snake often appears to be cold and slimy. And while snakes are cold-blooded, this only means that their body temperature is the same as their surroundings, not that they are always cold. As to his being slimy, he has absolutely no reason to be slimy, and so he's not. Some snakes have those smooth, shiny scales that at a distance, in the right light, they might appear to be slimy. Other snakes actually have large ridges down the center of each scale, actually feel abrasive to the touch. And probably the best way to find out what a snake feels like is to head up that path there to the Python building. And that'll be opening up here at 10 o'clock. So you may occasionally notice this guy sticking his forked tongue out at you. Now don't worry, he's not being rude, that's how he smells his environment. The tongues of snakes and many lizards can pick up particles in the air, bring them inside the mouth to a special organ in the upper jaw known as the Jacobson's organ. And a snake's sense of smell is probably its single most important sense. And as a rule, he will take this sense over any other, particularly while identifying food. So to give you guys a representation of that, a few years back, one of our keepers actually spilled a bucket of fish he was feeding on the floor of one of the displays in the dome. And after cleaning it up, he went home for the night, and he came back the next day to find that snake with his mouth pressed flat against the floor, trying to swallow his exhibit. But fortunately, though, he was a quick-thinking keeper, and he managed to stop the snake before it swallowed the entire dome. Not as good as the jokes are getting. So some snakes, like this yellow-tailed crebo, they're just going to bite onto whatever they want to eat, and then just start to swallow it. And while swallowing your dinner while it is still alive, it will ensure a fresh meal. There are drawbacks to this. It's likely that the creature being swallowed is going to object to being eaten, possibly violently so, and this could hurt the snake. So it'd be a lot safer, much more convenient for the snake to kill whatever it intends to eat before he tries to swallow it. And this next guy I have for you sure seems to feel that way.
Ooh, that's a bigger one.
This guy is a reticulated python, and he is the longest species in the world. So he is one of the giants of the snake world. That other giant is the anaconda of South America, which can reach 25 feet and weigh in excess of 300 pounds. It is the heaviest snake. This is the longest snake. It can reach lengths of more than 30 feet. So the reticulated python, he is not venomous. He uses constriction to kill his prey. So what he does is he bites on whatever he wants to eat in order to get a hold of it. He then wraps his coils around the animal, but he does this so fast that it's just a blur. He'll then start to squeeze, and constrictors can squeeze with such a force that the prey animal can no longer breathe, and this causes a very rapid loss of blood pressure. And they can even restrict the chest cavity to such an extent that the heart no longer has room to beat. And this causes the very rapid death of that animal. But they do not crush their prey to death, as one often hears. In fact, examinations of kills made by these snakes rarely find any broken bones at all.
No.
So after the prey is dead, then comes the task of eating it. And snakes have no arms or legs, obviously. And their teeth are needle-like and pointed to the back of their mouth. So what this means is that these snakes can't tear up their food or bite off chunks. So instead what they have to do is they have to swallow whatever they want to eat whole. But this is not nearly the limitation that it seems to be. Snakes also have no chin, and those lower two jawbones are not connected to each other. So the only limit to how wide a snake can open its mouth is the limit that its skin can stretch. And since a snake's skin is very elastic, it's possible for a snake like this to swallow something several times its own diameter. So constriction is by no means restricted to just the larger species of snake. Fully 50% of all snakes will employ this method of hunting, including our main bull snakes. And while constriction is an efficient means of killing your prey, an even better method would be through the use of venom, because constriction still requires that prolonged physical contact with the prey animal, which again could be dangerous. Whereas venom usually only requires a short amount of physical contact. So, this next guy I have for you, he is a mangrove snake. And he belongs to the most primitive group of rear-fanged snakes known as the rear-fanged snakes. And like all rear-fanged snakes, he does not have the ability to truly inject his venom into his prey. So instead, what he has to do is he has to bite onto the animal, work it to the back of the mouth, where those enlarged teeth are, and wait for that venom to run out of the gland, down the channels in those teeth, and into the wound. This is very inefficient, but it's easy to imagine how this system evolved when you realize even the most deadly snake venoms are only a modified form of saliva. Not only do they aid in killing the animal, but also help with digesting it as well. So it's likely that those early snakes developed those grooves or channels in their teeth to allow saliva to run into their prey for more efficient digestion. And eventually the saliva did develop toxins that actually aided in killing the animal as well. So due to their inefficient fangs, it's unlikely for a rear-fanged snake like this mangrove snake to be deadly to a creature the size of a human being. With that being said, it's still not going to be a fun experience to get bit. It's still going to swell up, still probably going to get sick. So I'm going to try to avoid it. There are exceptions, however, with the deadliest rule with the rear-fanged venomous snakes. Both the bird snake and the boomslang are both rear-fanged venomous snakes that have been known to cause human fatalities. And the boomslang actually does have one of the most potent snake venoms.
Where's a snake?
So
He doesn't want to.
even more efficient than the rear-fanged venom system comes from the front-fanged snakes. And these are divided into two groups. Those with permanently erect fangs are known as the elapids, and these include the cobras, the coral snakes, the mambas, and the taipans. So in a typical elapid, those fangs are at the very front of their mouth where the slightest nip would embed them. Instead of elongated teeth with grooves and channels, there are hollowed out tubes connected to a venom duct and gland. And muscle over this gland can compress it, allows it to function similar to a hypodermic needle. So what this means is that the elapids don't need to work that animal to the back of their mouth, but only to bite it. The venom is injected and the deed is done. So even more efficient than even the elapid's venom system comes from the vipers of the world. So this next guy I have for you he is a cottonmouth, also known as a water moccasin. And like all vipers, he does have very long fangs. So long, in fact, that if they were fixed permanently erect, they'd stick right out of the bottom of that snake's mouth. So instead, they fold up onto the roof of that snake's mouth when they're not being used. The vipers, they can open their mouths to such an angle that those fangs will stick almost directly out in front of them. So what this means is that the vipers don't even need to bite the animal, but only to strike to inject their venom and begin that digestive process. And surely this is the maximum amount of efficiency combined with the minimum amount of risk for that snake. The cottonmouth, he does get his name from that white interior of his mouth, and he will flash this as a defense mechanism. So in nature, when you see a dark coloration like the color of his skin, to contrast that white coloration of the inside of the mouth, this serves as a warning sign that he does have a secondary defense mechanism. So, similar to a skunk with the black fur and the white stripes, and that skunk's smell being its secondary defense. So I'm going to try to show you guys the inside of this guy's mouth. Okay, maybe not. Try it over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this snake is completely ignoring me. He doesn't seem to be responding to any of my moves, kind of running away whenever I try to do anything with it. And that is a great indication that it is a female snake. Alright, so when discussing venomous snakes, we're often asked, what is the deadliest snake in the world? And that depends on how you define the deadliest snake in the world. Do you define the deadliest snake in the world to be the one that kills the most people each year? Or do you define the deadliest snake in the world to be the one with the most potent venom? And from what information is currently available, the inland taipan of Central Australia does have the most potent venom. But because it is native to that Central Australian outback area, it rarely comes into any contact with human beings. And in fact, there's only one reported human fatality contributed to that snake. But if you do consider the deadliest snake in the world to be the one that actually kills the most people each year, that's a snake I can show you guys. And by this definition, the deadliest snake in the world is going to be the most common snake in the most densely populated area. And this is an area where people often go barefoot and medical attention is not readily available. This is a snake I'm sure you guys have heard of before. It is the Asian cobra. Specifically, the monocled cobra.
Where is it?
So, the cobra often brings to mind that snake charmer that plays his flute and the snake seems to sway back and forth to the rhythm of the music. The only problem with this is that cobras, like most other snakes, they do not have external ears, so they're not actually listening to that music so much as they're following the movements of that snake charmer as he's playing the flute, the movement of the knee, the elbow, maybe the end of the flute. So there's no actually dancing or being charmed in any way. And probably the most unique characteristic of the cobra is that hood formation. And the hood is formed by erecting elongated ribs in that snake's neck region. He does this to appear much larger and much more threatening. And personally, I think it's very effective. That's why he's in the box and I'm not here. The strike of a cobra, it is a forward and a downward motion. It is relatively slow when compared to other snakes. It would be possible for an alert human being to get within striking range of that cobra, allow it to strike, and to get out of the way in time. So now could I have one of those volunteers that I asked for earlier? I'm just kidding, guys. But if we were to attempt that same demonstration with a rattlesnake, we'd also need to demonstrate first aid treatment for snake bites. So here at the Reptile Gardens, we're often asked how to tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous snake by just looking at it. And some common suggestions that we do get are the shape of the eyes, the shape of the head, the coloration maybe. But the problem with these are that you're going to have to be pretty close to that snake to know the shape of its eyes. And in fact, you're going to be able to find both venomous and non-venomous snakes with most of these characteristics. So In fact, there's only one surefire way to tell the difference between a venomous and a non-venomous snake. That is to catch the snake, pry open its mouth and check for a venom apparatus. Or, I guess, let it bite you and see how you feel. And for obvious reasons, we do not recommend either of these strategies. Instead, we recommend that you research the venomous snakes that are in your area or the area you plan on visiting. And here at the Reptile Gardens, here in South Dakota, we do only have one seriously venomous snake. And that is the prairie rattlesnake.
The rattlesnake.
So the rattlesnake, he is a viper like that cottonmouth was. As you guys can see, he is a very happy snake because he's wagging that tail. So a common rumor with the rattlesnake is that if you count the number of segments on that snake's rattle, you're going to be able to tell how old that snake is. Only problem with this is that snake's going to develop a new segment on his rattle each time he sheds his skin. And this is from 6 to 12 times per year, and it is made out of that same material that your fingernails are, and so it does break off from time to time. But fortunately, that rattle will tell us one thing. A rattlesnake will always rattle before he strikes. Unless he strikes first and rattles later. Or rattles and doesn't strike, or strikes and never rattles. The two are actually not related. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know of any animal that needs permission from his butt before he bites. So the rattlesnake, he does live in a sensory-driven world different from our own. He can see me with his eyes, but he has no external ears. He smells me with his tongue. And probably the most important sense to a rattlesnake is a sense that you and I don't have. Rattlesnakes, they do belong to a special group of vipers known as the pit vipers. What this means is they have small holes in the side of their face. And these holes are capable of sensing minute temperature differences around them. So what this does is it allows him to accurately locate and to strike warm-blooded prey using only this sense. So it kind of works as a sort of a heat vision. So let's say we're out hiking in the hills and we hear that rattling noise. What should we do? We should run, right? The only problem with that is if we just heard that noise and we didn't see the snake and we took off running, we might run right into that snake. So the smart move is actually not to move. Movement's going to attract that snake's attention because movement's threatening to him. He doesn't want to get stepped on. So what we should do is stop, locate where that snake is, check behind us, make sure none of his buddies snuck up, and then move in the opposite direction. And some people are okay with a few feet, and some others might prefer a few miles. But let's suppose you wanted to capture or kill this snake. By all means, go ahead, but don't blame him for what happens next. More people are bitten each year trying to capture and kill these animals than by simply leaving them alone. They do have their place in the natural scheme of things and actually do us a great favor by feeding upon rodents. So here at the Reptile Gardens, we do go through a very extensive 2 to 3 week training process before we are qualified to handle these animals. And in that process, I was told that if this snake is relentless in striking me, he's charging me, and at any point I think I'm going to get bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snake hook here, I'm going to hook him right here at the second S curve, real quick, pick him up, and flick him over the glass. And we figure we already have our guess's money, so we can just with that, I'm going to cut you guys loose. If you guys have any questions, want to see that rattlesnake up close, or me up close for that matter, you guys sure can. I want to thank you guys for visiting the Reptile Gardens today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Go up and take a picture. Go, go, go.
Already got it.
Go up close. Go close. Go, go. Go, go, don't just get it. Go.
Now look at it, babe.
Excuse me.
How old is he? Like, how big is he?
This is a pretty typical size prairie rattler. They don't
He's going to strike that too.
The larger species are
There was a last year he strike for sure.
See it? gonna attack.
I won't attack this glass.
Very much like up. There you go. Look at the turtle.
Yeah, we didn't look. I'm not gonna look here. You missed some stuff up here, huh?
I'm looking right now.
Don't feed them.
Do not feed them.
See you, Breezy.
Please do not feed paradox. They will bite. Oh, they're so cute. They are super cute. Oh, there's a chubby one here. They are so cute. They are eating.
I just asked Bridger if they let the snakes in. Sometimes they pull over. But no one thought.
There are so many.
Mom, they're so cute. Can we get one of the pets? Oh, we can go under there.
What do you think about those
Yeah, there's a
ones?
baby right
Yeah,
here.
They are super cute. Yeah, I like this one. It's so chubby and cute.
I don't really know what they do.
not dead pet. Whoa, dead pet. Look at
This
that.
is the really,
Hey,
really
what's that
tiny
one
one
doing
right
up
there,
there
too.
on the
That's
stick?
That must be a baby. This one? You got a picture of that cutie one?
That one, no, I haven't got you.
Sure. Look, that one's so cute. I'll take a picture of that one too. It's eating. See that?
That one looking at you up there?
Oh, they went up the tree.
That's a fairy dog.
This one is up the tree.
Prairie dog.
Yeah, the baby close to.
So cute.
Look, now there's two of them up there.
They are too cute.
They are pretty darn cute.
Are they safe to raise for pet?
See, earlier I got a picture of the.
There's two of them now. See that?
I kind of wish we would have gone back to bear country this trip.
There's more over here. Why is this one so chubby? Honey, are these safe to raise them?
Let's go.
Okay, just wait. I want to get this one first.
If you want a photo, go
There's
down
a whole
there.
family right here.
Yeah,
Family of
over
four.
there too.
Yeah. Mama and babies.
This way.
There. Oh, that whole pile right here? Oh, so many. The whole family. Peter, don't you think they're cute?
Yeah, like giant hamsters.
I want to raise them.
Nope.
Yeah, they are. They're cuter than guinea pigs.
They cannot survive the winter at Wisconsin.
Oh, really? They like desert stuff?
Yeah, there's an animal. They like to stay in the hot summer.
Pick up the grass.
They
Have you
like.
seen any of this in Wisconsin? See?
Didn't I take a picture of the whole family right there?
Hello.
The big family.
So, the rattlesnake, you wouldn't die from that. You just get sick, right?
Nope. People have been known to die from them. It's a matter of how you.
Ooh, look.
Monster Toyota.
Two down there, right there. They're
Oh my
alive.
god, let's go look at it.
They're alive.
Yes. Nó trốn cơ được thế nào? Có gồng ra của nó sao cũng nè. No. Easy. It's sick. What's in here? What are they looking at inside? Let me check turtle đó ba. Go look at turtle first. The bald eagle. The giant taurus. We'll shout tomorrow.
Are we going to see?
Sao tôi học kiểu lo chắc lại nữa. Wow. Why is he hiding?
The head is inside.
It's so huge.
Yeah, he's hiding.
Oh,
Tortoises, Mom.
touch it. Like a rock. Yeah, lo chắc của.
He's real? Where's his head?
It's hiding.
That tortoise seems to enjoy staring everywhere.
Tortoise, where's your head?
Baby?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two baby. Often baby, nó nhục phải you lo. It could lie to me.
Yeah.
How long will they grow that big?
Đây.
Long time?
Where is the
I thought I saw two. It's only one.
Talking in normal tone of voice. Okay, guys, smile. We'll just skip the other.
I don't see them there. Can I get one? I like them.
Wait for your turn now.
They scared too. They have their head.
Oh, there's two more over here.
There's more inside of
Oh. More ớt tuyên trả nó thế hả? Kia là ớt tuyên trả hả?
Hiding under the log.
Oh, there's a baby hiding. Why are they hiding?
See, that's the house in there.
Oh, there's a bunch in there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, this one moving active right here. This one is trying to make a hole for him. For egg, I think. I think she's gonna lay eggs. She's young in her.
I think that's why she's big.
Do you know,
Oh, is that what it's getting?
some people are going
She's about to lay eggs.
She's digging holes.
to the Boy Scouts and they went to a special island.
That's the cook Hawaiian baby. She's gonna have babies. Making herself a nest.
How long has she been working on the hole? Is it eggs or hole?
Probably this morning.
Just think if every time I had a kid that I had to dig a hole. This spot ready for it.
Trông nó phải non. Nếu như baby nãy con.
Yeah, he's gonna lay eggs.
And get the room ready.
Take these 2 months again.
Keep digging.
Oh, they try to plant apple tree for them.
Yeah, and it's 2 months ago. These two got the heads sticking out of the head right there.
Their head is out.
Yeah, the head is the head out right there. A whole
Oh, there I see.
it's a monster one.
Why is the shell curving down?
Yeah, it's like that.
There's the head.
Depends how the tortoise is like.
Oh, this one was 82.
82.
Yeah, it's like 30 years.
And then Tank,
This
he's
is a
54.
guy.
Yep,
Oh,
and they all weigh
wow.
about 500 pounds.
Wow.
That's
Awesome.
an old one. Young one.
Lo lên lo ha. Tôi tao nó tụt chỉ một cái xem nó.
You go eat.
Có ý là tôi sao tao chỉ chút xa ấy.
It's a block.
Biết lo xem. Lo thế thế. So where do we go next?
Oh, you go over there.
Cold, freezing. Where is it open?
Nó khả năng đi để đi cho các bạn lên tàu nữa.
À, chị nhá hậu.
Tàu pla.
Where is it?
Right here, window. Right there, oh, it's a.
Where's the owl?
It's
You're
a
seeing eagle
Oh,
owl.
that's it's a
big hello.
Eagle owl.
Pla tô cú.
linh nhùa.
No, món hồ pla tô cú.
Oh, black cool has two
horn.
pointed horn. Trên chỉ lo tao nó nè.
They don't move. They don't move. Lấy nhau này là tí tao được để đơn giản.
Your night they move a lot.
Cái này là của mai.
Cho apa nó có khali thế này. What do they have here?
A lot of turtles and goldfish.
Inside?
Yes.
Ooh, let's see what's here.
I don't think they are. I think they are. Yeah, they are.
Apa nó có khali.
Look at here, honey. They got a turtle here.
Bao nhiêu khát tử? The one loving, in loving memory of Bob and his old one. Rồi xin lưu yang rock nào đó.
Đó one. The bird.
Ooh. Nhớ khát tử.
Right there.
Oh, tụi con dâu lo luôn à? That's this bird right here. Why is she locked up so good?
Oh, what time is it?
9:43.
Almost. Let's go to the show.
They got a pet turtle, huh?
I don't get to see all the fish yet.
Yeah, fish and turtle.
Is that the crocodile show or what?
Yeah.
Okay. But Shana to the bim.
A lot of turtle everywhere right there.
Go there, Jay.
Turtle and fish too.
Fishy. Koi fish. Some that lunar turtle so.
Ít tự nhiên có con nữa.
Oh, no, say nothing.
Right there, those pink turtle.
Ah, I see one right here. Really beautiful.
Yeah, one on the rock there too. See?
Ah.
Right there.
Turtle put loose. Whoa. Turtle put loose in there, huh?
Yeah.
There too. No. Jake trông ha. Đây turtle xí lắm. Wild fish.
Whoa, look at that huge fish. How did we get pregnant?
There's a baby turtle at the
Yeah.
corner.
There's a lot down there. You see, they're all swimming down there. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of turtles. Look at them. Lots of it. All the time.
Yes. Okay. Cái mùa dùng say okay. You see what we lose. Go before we don't have time. Thế nào bây giờ một say case show à?
It's okay. It's like
Gator show. We're going to Gator show. Everybody's going. That's where we come out. Bây giờ một say case tập mà là sao trở lại bây giờ một say bia. Okay. Oh, they start already?
exactly.
Yeah.
Wait for her.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, that's it. Well, we don't get to sit now, do we?
water to wash their clothes. And this does provide that Nile crocodile with a regular opportunity to feed on people. So it is said that more people are killed and eaten in Africa by the Nile crocodile than by all other wild animals on that continent combined. So I guess we could say that that Nile crocodile is the true man-eater, but he is really not all that picky because he has been known to take a woman on occasion. Let's get cooler during the winter months. When they do get cold, their metabolism slows. They stop feeding and they become dormant. So the crocodiles, they are found throughout the tropics where it's warm year-round, so they are actively feeding year-round. The alligator is found in the southeastern United States and, strangely enough, all the way on the other side of the world in the Yangtze River Valley in China. The crocodiles are found throughout the tropics, like I was saying. The caiman, which is that little brown guy that's moving, he is a caiman. They're found in southern Mexico, Central, and South America. And the gharial are found in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. So, the first question you guys probably had when I came out here is, are most of them dead? And this is probably because of the great amount of activity we are witnessing. You gotta keep in mind these guys are cold-blooded, so they generate no heat of their own, so develop no nervous energy. They have no energy to waste. So if an alligator or crocodile has nothing to do, that is precisely what they will do, is nothing. And as you guys can see, they're very good at it. And even when they do have something to do, like find food, this too can be accomplished by doing nothing. So they wait, lie in the water with only their eyes above the surface, wait for an animal to get a little too close to the water's edge, and sink below the surface, swim over to wherever that animal is, and strike out and grab onto whatever part of the animal they can get a hold of. If that animal is small enough to swallow whole, they will do so, but if it is too large to swallow, they will drag it into the water to drown it, where they can then dismember it at their leisure. So, like lions or tigers, they are carnivorous animals, so they rely on what they catch to survive. But a lion or a tiger is a warm-blooded creature, one that has the endurance to stalk their prey and the ability to run it down. But an alligator and a crocodile is a cold-blooded creature, one that does not have the endurance to stalk their prey. And if you take one good look at any of the guys in this enclosure, you will notice that they are not built to run, including myself. So they have heavy bodies and tails and short, stubby, comparatively weak legs. But that's not to say that they cannot run, however. It would be possible for a 6-foot alligator to probably outrun a human for a short distance. But many of the animals they prey on can run much faster than a human can, so they don't try. They again do nothing, so they'll lie in the water. So they're amazingly quick animals when it comes to striking, but amazingly slow when it comes to running. So I'm going to try to demonstrate this for you guys. So what I'm going to do is take my handy dandy alligator fishing pole right here. I'm going to grab that guy that I dragged in a little bit earlier. Picked a volunteer for us for today. The water's too low for them to all be in the water right now, so I'm going to wrestle this guy for you guys. Hopefully. Alright, so when doing this, it is very important to grab these onto the end. Alright.
Not too bad.
Well, I guess I'm getting in.
You can't catch
Alright. You're killing me.
My shoes are wet.
That sucks the rest of the day because of you. Alright. So,
You say
we
got
have
to
a
know
volunteer
too.
for today.
No volunteer. Nobody wants to know.
And it's 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Okay. bring him around, show everybody your pretty little smile. Here we go. Okay. So, when you're jumping on the alligator due to the position of their eyes on top of their head, you can see things to the side of them and in front of them, but they can't see things behind them. And that is exactly where I want to be. And it is at this point in the show where I'd love to give the alligator a good chance to catch his breath. Okay. So when I jump on the alligator's back, I want to land with my hands on his neck and my knees in his armpit. And this is what is known as the target area. I am safe there. It is very important to not overshoot this target area. So, real quick, straighten out his head here. Straighten out his head here. And one more time around, I guess. Alright, and it's alright. So, you'll notice that I'm covering this guy's eyes. This seems to calm the alligator. It's told that if you cover an alligator's eyes, a popular theory with that he will actually think he is dead. So if I only have to cover one eye, do you think he's only half dead? So, now that I'm on the alligator's back, he is an amphibious reptile. He is not an amphibian. An amphibian is a frog, a toad, a salamander. He is amphibious. So he does spend a great deal of his time in the water, and a lot of that time is also spent underwater. So he can hold his breath for several hours at a time. And how long they can hold their breath is dependent on how warm or cold they are, and how active they are determines how fast they burn up that oxygen. So they are well adapted to the aquatic lifestyle. Get him to open up his mouth here. Show you guys one of those adaptations. A little bit more. Maybe not. Okay, so you guys will notice you cannot see down this guy's throat. Maybe one of the guys on the land over there. You can see that you can't see down their throat. This is because the back of the tongue acts as a valve. And this allows him to submerge beneath the surface of the water and open up his mouth without taking in any water. So you will never see down an alligator's throat unless you're on the way down. The nostrils are located on top of the snout here, and they are also equipped with valves. The eyes are located on top of the head, so like I was saying earlier, this allows him to submerge beneath the surface, only his eyes above the surface. This is a great adaptation for hunting, but it does at the same time leave those eyes in a very vulnerable position. Like I was doing earlier, they are retractable back into the skull, where they are then protected by a heavy bony ridge. You'll notice when he opens his eyes here, okay, when he finally does open his eyes, you'll notice they kind of roll open. And this is due to a secondary eyelid known as the nictitating membrane. And this membrane functions similar to a pair of diving goggles, allowing that alligator to see underwater. The ears are located here behind the eyes. They are also equipped with valves. So as you guys can see, the alligator is well adapted to that aquatic lifestyle. And perhaps you guys have heard that an average person can hold the jaws shut of a very large alligator. This is because their closing force is very great, but their opening force, not so much. So an average person with a decent set of hands can hold the jaws shut of a decent sized alligator. And I won't go as far as to say that you can hold the jaw shut of the world's largest alligator. Simply put, nobody has big enough hands to do so. But I can say that the average person does have sufficient sized hands to hold the jaw shut of a 6 or 7 foot alligator. So we're going to try it here with this guy. What we're going to do is start back here on his neck. Real quick, or real slowly, I mean, not quick. Run your hands up and shut the jaw as you go along. And then walk your hands forward and immediately rock back with the head. Now this doesn't hurt the animal. He can move it forward at any time that he wants to, but it does prevent him from twisting and rolling under me, as that is the first thing he will do in an attempt to free himself. So, probably the most important part of being on an alligator's back is knowing how to get off the alligator's back. So, to do this, we're going to cover up his eyes to calm him down a little bit. We're going to check behind us, make sure none of his buddies snuck up. Doesn't look like it. And then we're going to real quick back up off of him. That is alligator wrestling. Let's give our volunteer a round of applause here. You guys will notice that their teeth are conical in shape, round and pointed, and with a tooth of this nature, they cannot chew their food as you and I would, so instead they have to swallow it whole or tear off a bite-sized chunk. So to do that, they grab onto whatever part, and then they thrash their heads back and forth until they do get one of those bite-sized chunks, and if there are other equally hungry crocs or gators in the area, they too will grab a hold and twist and roll until one of those bite-sized chunks comes off. So I have a little bit of chicken in the back. I'm going to run back and get it and try to show you guys just how they are fed. So just 1 second here.
He's to open his mouth for the time.
So, if I just came out here and I started throwing out chicken, it would not be too long before these guys started to associate me with food. And this is not a good thing. So we have taught them to associate a bucket and a sound signal with food instead. Sound signal is me banging down the bucket with this stick. It's very high tech. Let's try and see what happens.
Uh-oh, they're coming.
A little bit of activity. Alright, let's give our volunteer a piece. So, due to the location of their eyes on top of the head, they seem to be on its own. They hear it hit the ground, and it's a matter of feeling for it. They can't actually see it when it's on the ground. Okay. Okay, you guys are watching behind me, right? I want you guys to yell and scream if anyone's coming up behind me, okay? It's right here. Come on. Back up out. Up here. Up here. Up here. Okay. So.
Oh, you missed
Right
it.
here. Okay, you'll notice he had to roll his head to the side in order to grab that piece of chicken. I already got one. Okay. So they have to roll their head to the side in order to pick up that piece of chicken. And this is because that neck is too short and their heads are too long to simply bend straight forward. That was a terrible throw, I'm sorry. Here, I'm gonna try to give you it. Hey, here.
They're so blind, I can't see.
So their necks are too short and their heads are too long to simply bend straight forward and to grab that food. So let's try feeding. Dude, leave me alone. Okay. Let's try feeding this guy the water over here. This is Albert. He is the biggest guy we do have here in this enclosure. He's about 8 feet long, 400 pounds. Let's see here. Come on, buddy. Yeah, work for it. Come on.
There's a big one in there.
Oh, other way. Okay. I'm done with you. Let's try this guy.
He's being slow.
So, you'll notice he has to bring his head to the surface of the water in order to swallow that piece of chicken. And this is through that valve that I was talking about earlier. This valve allows him to pick up that piece of chicken while it's in the water. That was a terrible throw, I'm sorry. And but it doesn't allow him to swallow it while he's underwater, so he has to bring his head to the surface in order to swallow that piece of chicken.
No, mình này sẽ đỏ hơn.
You look hungry, don't you? Come here. Thank you guys. This way. This way. Alright. This is... Okay. This is my last piece of chicken. Who do you guys think needs to get fed here? This one? Big one behind him? The baby one? Right here? You guys are totally conflicting each other. I need a solid guy. The baby, alright. Alright, perfect. He was hungry. Okay, so I am out of chicken, but I do have one last surprise for you guys. If you guys want to hang tight real quick, I'll be right back out. I'm just going to get back and wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back.
You can sit down. Sit down, your brother. Good, Sunny, you know, good to know. Nó sáng tôi nó tê rồi, tôi vào gì tôi
Okay. This little guy up here, his name is Fluffy. He is about a 2-year-old American alligator. When he was hatched, he was about 6 to 10 inches in length. And he was fully equipped to hunt. So by that what I mean is he has a sharp little set of teeth and a nasty little bite to go with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him back here, I'm going to tape his mouth shut, and if you guys want the opportunity to actually pet Fluffy, feel just what an alligator feels like, you guys can sure meet me over here at the fence line. Thank you guys for visiting the reptile gardens today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
look.
Là Kheb phải tàu, Kheb phải tàu.
Xe tụi nó lo Python. Don't do it. That was... They say crocodile so tired.
Python.
Yeah, let's go to the python. Pet python. Must be huge. Right? Is it huge? Alright, okay.
Now what do you want to do? And then
Go touch it.
Touch it, bro.
Hey, touch it.
Touch his
Go
leg.
touch it. You want to feel? Oh,
Like.
you can touch it. It's fine.
thank you.
Oh. Cái này là theo.
Chầu nó ho chủ.
To tail, so go touch it. Yeah, you go touch it.
Bên theo nó.
You get a picture. Yeah, you line up, I take.
Go ahead. Nó sắp bẻ này, nó sắp bẻ cái này thay lấy.
Let me get a picture of his head. Yeah, that's okay. Get a picture of his
Saying
head.
hi.
Ask.
Would you? Yeah, you sure can.
Okay.
Gentle. Very gentle. Pretty cool, huh?
Thôi tụi nó.
How do we go inside?
Tá vậy đó.
No. Everybody's come home.
Tá rồi đứng.
Where's the gate?
Oh no, where's the gate?
How do you go inside there? Where? That's the gate?
Oh, where's my skin? It's annoying.
guess we're going this way first.
Oh, good one. That's baby
Snake. Oh, baby crocodile. Oh, this one right here. Where's it in here? Oh, baby crocodile. Oh, this one right here. Oh my gosh, I didn't see them.
Why do you need the password?
I guess Auntie Kelly was here.
Got the bird show.
Oh, Mr. Bird.
There. Nice.
Hi, Mr. Bird. You're gonna look up there. Oh.
There's a lizard right here. A lot of lizards.
Oh my gosh. Lizard under. Right here. Oh, what a cute. Wow. So what is there? Where? Which one? Where is it?
Got a quail back there.
Oh, I see it.
I think they got a couple quail right here. One there.
Yeah, this one over here.
Yeah, one there. Got a few right there.
This one right here. Look at the video. Oh, người ta tôi nhớ cười rồi. Người ta
You leave them
cười.
in here or what?
These guys, this is pretty much
No wonder they feel like home. There's two behind there, honey.
Quail.
Two quail over here.
Móng cỡ. Đó giống như chúng ta thấy được không?
Where is it? Oh, right here.
Yep, right there. Don't go too close.
Where is
Yeah, come here.
Is he alive?
What do you see here?
This one right here too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they are over. From childhood. Oh, there's a bird on the floor. Oh, what the heck? I got what it is.
Yeah.
We should have to ask you one dollar. Yeah, I know. Is that a live one?
Yeah, it's a live one.
Oh, yeah. You are so loud and I don't even hear you, see you. Anything else? Fun and go chapla. I love these flowers. Okay. Bye bye, birdie. Đây tụi ư thì kéo á đó honey. Oh, that's the food. Hey. Honey, right here. Right there. Lấy dụng ư nó. Oh, really? Turtle, Carter. Where is the turtle? Oh, cho mấy anh đó. Oh, there's another bird here. Right here. Come on, cry really loud in here. Joey, never not here. Is he talking or what? Perfect one. Where is it? Snake? Oh my goodness, that's a snake. Like, snake. Where is it at? Where?
Right there.
There's a snake up here.
Oh, that's a big bird.
Where?
Inside those woods.
There's a bird in there? Oh, I saw it. I want to go see that bird. Right there. Oh, there it is. Buddy. Oh my gosh, so awesome. He's doing a show. Bye-bye, buddy. This is snake. Oh, this two bird right here. There's a large one over there. There's a big one over there. He's doing a show for me. Okay. And a big one here. Two of them. Awesome. So right here, I can't see them. Oh, and then
lizard nhất là thích trận thắng này.
Huh? That's a baby lizard? Are you sure? This one? Oh my god, yeah.
Turtle.
Oh, yo, told him like, don't know. There's 3. Why do they have to line up like that? Oh, big one. Yeah, I know side of the hill. Like, oh, there's some turtle.
This the guy coming for you.
Yeah. I'm going to take some. Go to here. Oh, you got full of. There's no more.
Lizard.
Is that a live lizard?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a giant fern or owl.
Đây không. Đây không. Đó phải mà. Đó chụp lỗ rồi.
No snake, right? Oh, it's a horn.
Anh tò hồn muốn còn anh còn hết không? Có chưa? Đã biết.
Beautiful live flower. What is it on there?
There's a green, black, poison, yellow frog. Oh yeah.
Oh, poison frog?
Yep. See green and black.
Yeah.
Poison. Deadly.